Fun matchup. Is Texas back? I don't know. I never want to be the one who says they're back because if you say they're back, then the next game they're probably not going to be back. That just seems how it goes. But I know those in Texas do feel pretty confident about this team. Even though against Rice, they were kind of just, I don't know. It seems like they were just kind of going through the motions, but it was a big point spread. They didn't really need to do anything crazy against Rice. They just had some fourth downs where I'm like, what are you guys doing? They probably could have blown out Rice, but it seemed like, look, Alabama's on deck. That was a classic, like, this is a look ahead spot for us. Alabama favored by 7, though. 7.5 in some spots and a total of 54. What do you think about this matchup?
Oh, this is a tough one. I'm not betting this. If I had to bet it, I would probably take Bama, um, maybe to win by a field goal or something like that. But I think this could go either way. I think it's going to be a physical game. I think Bama's defense is going to pressure Ewers. I mean, that's how he got hurt in the last game. There's still a lot of question marks about Bama's offense, specifically their receivers. So I want to say it's Texas's game to lose, but I don't know. I think if Texas can run the ball successfully against Bama's run defense, I think they can win. But there's just so many question marks for me about Bama right now, which is I think benefits them, because it's they're kind of playing from behind. They're kind of backed into a corner, which is kind of a weird situation for them to be in,
right? Because it's Bama.
Because it's Bama,
it is
right?
weird, yeah. Because I think Sarkisian like said something. He's like, we have to play Alabama and look at the roster who's on the field in this game because if Texas gets caught up in like, oh, it's Alabama, right? They're going to lose this game. If they get down, they're not going to be confident. They're going to be like, hey, it's another Alabama team because there's still questions about how good this Bama team is. So I think that's kind of to your point, right? Like it's weird that we feel this way about Alabama, but maybe it's fair.
Right, exactly. And maybe right, maybe we feel that way for a reason. So there's just so I mean, again, if I was forced to make a score prediction, I think it's going to be a physical game. 54s, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about 54. I think that number's about right, to be honest. So I don't really have a lean on the total. I have a slight lean on Bama. Again, I think it's going to be close. They might win by a field goal, but nothing definitive for me. I'm just going to, again, watch and learn basically from this game.
So I actually have a little bit of a take here, and it's going to be on the total. And I'm leaning with the, let's see, I'm leaning with an under, and it's looking like 55 maybe is the best number. Let's see here, 54 and a half. Kind of all over the place depending on where you look at it. But my thinking with this game is that Texas's defensive line is going to cause havoc in this game. I love their front four, front seven with their linebackers too. I think that's going to be a big difference in this game, and I'm still not sold on Quinn Ewers, and I just think that both offenses are going to have to kind of figure it out a little bit in this game. I don't think we're going to get like a shootout, and I think it's easy for people to look at these two teams and expect some fireworks just because of the name recognition. But for me, I look at the defense from both those teams, and I think that's going to be the difference in this one. But last year, it was a lower scoring game too, and I remember I was on the under. I think it went well under the total, if I recall correctly. I don't know if anyone in the chat can help me remember the final score, but it was a low scoring game, and I think we're going to get something very similar in this one too. So I'm leaning with an under 54.5. I don't think I locked that one in yet, and it was 17-9, just a weird score there. And I'm not looking at last year's score and just expecting, oh, that went well under, doing the same here. But I think it does just point out that the defenses on both these teams are really good. So I'm not overthinking this one. I'm going with an under as my best play in this one.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to take the total, I'd go under as well, just based on how I think it's going to play out defensively. But I still think that yeah, I mean, I can see it being like a 21-28 or like a 24-27 or something like that, which to me gets a little close. So
it was 2019. The score was 2019 last year, and Alabama won by 1. That's right.
Yeah. 17-9 was the Miami Texas A&M score from last year.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, 2019, that sounds about right. Yeah. So
I was trying to see what the spread was last year and what the total was. It looks like it was 64.5.
Oh, wow.
So again, that's a big difference. And I don't want to say the books are just adjusting off of that, but we also expected Texas's offense last year to be like a top 15 offense with Bijan and what's his face, the backup, Roscoe. Is it Roshan? Yep. And I think in that game, people were like, why didn't Texas run the ball more? So maybe that was part of it, like why we kind of had a weird score last season. But yeah, again, I'm leaning with the under. I'm not trying to be contrarian. I just think that the defenses are going to show up, get a bunch of stops, and hopefully the clock just keeps ticking.
Yeah.
All righty, let's get into our best bets, and then we can kind of talk about some of the games maybe chat has. And then you had another one that you wanted to talk about too. Maybe this is your best bet. So what's kind of your favorite bet? I guess it could be the games